Welcome to the kitchen counter. This is a place where our family and friends have had really interesting conversations over the years, whether it be about current events or even about God. Being the parents of 4 young adult children, you can imagine some of those conversations that we've had. People today are very skeptical about God, who He is, and how it is that we come to know Him. I want to introduce you today to a new evangelism strategy for the local church called Answering Humanity's Common Questions About God. This study is based on a scripture that's found in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. And I want to read that to you right now. It says this, "But in your hearts, revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect." Out of our love for Christ, we have a desire to share with other people, and we need to be prepared to give a reason why we believe, no matter what their question may be, because they need the good news, and we need to do it with a sense of love. In this study, we'll be looking at so much information that is beneficial in answering some of those questions. Now, what we know is that we rely on God's Spirit to lead people to Christ. We can't convince anyone to give their life to Jesus, but God can use something that we say to get their attention and to draw their hearts toward Him. Paul is a good example of this as he reasoned with the people in Athens who were worshiping all of these false gods. He got in big conversations with them, and we know that because of those conversations, God used that to lead many people to give their lives to Christ. And God can use us to do the same. The material is taught in 6 sessions, and there are really 2 different portions of it. The first 2 sessions are very practical. The first session is about how we can share our faith. It teaches an easy way for us to share Jesus with others, and it uses an illustration to teach that. We also help the people in the class identify those in their circles of influence who don't have a relationship with Christ, so that we can begin praying for them and seeking openings of opportunity to share Jesus with them as we ask God to open those opportunities for us. In session 2, you'll learn how to share your personal story. We tell people what Christ has done for us and why we chose to give our life to Christ and how we did it. Not only that, but we'll learn how people respond to the message of Jesus. And we'll learn how to respond to their response, to lead them on their journey as they move closer to discovering God and their need for Jesus in their own lives. Then the second portion of the material, the last 4 sessions, they answer 4 common questions that every human has. We have all of these questions. And it's in these questions and answering them that we're able to address many of the issues that cause people to be skeptical about God. So what are those questions? Question of origin. Where did we come from? The second question is the question of morality. What is right and wrong behavior? And who decides that? The third question is the question of meaning. What is my purpose in life that leads me to feel significant? And the fourth question is the question of destiny. Is there life after death? And if there is, how can I experience it? In those last 4 sessions, we'll be dealing with those 4 questions in great detail as we learn that God has the answers that we need, drawing us to Him. Now, the way we teach this is we have resources and materials that are used through the process. First of all, there is a study guide. It looks like this, the Answering Humanity's Common Questions About God study. This is what the students will go through throughout the 6 sessions to learn what we'll be teaching them. There is a leader's guide, which is used obviously by the leader to teach the material if you decide to teach it in a live setting that way. And it tells you exactly what to say and how to go throughout the material. And then there is a third book, and it's the original book that led to this study. It's Answering Humanity's Common Questions About God. We don't give this book to them until after they've completed the study. This book is written as if someone were sitting in front of you, and the person is telling them and talking to them about the reasons why we can believe in God. Much of what you learn in the material through the study is in this book in a very conversational way, so that you hear an example or read an example of someone who's telling someone else about Jesus. In fact, this is a good resource to be able to give as a gift to people who don't know Christ, to help them along the pathway as they're trying to discover if God is who they need in their lives. There is another resource that you'll use. It's your smartphone. And your smartphone is a way in which you can remember what it is that you've been learning. We ask them to download actually a website, and it's answeringcommonquestions.com. And it operates, it's very mobile friendly. It operates very much like an app. And it has pages on that website that remind them about what they're learning. And it also provides them a way to be able to share their faith, along with other resources to help them as they learn how to be able to share the good news of Jesus with others. It's on that website that you'll also find the resources that you'll need to do the study. If you look on the resource button on the main page, you'll find the Answering Common Questions, the store there, and you can purchase all of these materials so that you can do this as a class. Let me tell you one other thing that's on the material. They're videos. You can choose to do this as a video curriculum. All 6 sessions are taught through a video format. So it's a push-play type of environment. You play the video, and then after the video is over, you can have discussion about what you've learned from the teaching that you've seen on the video. And even if you decide to do it live instead of a video format, it's helpful to the person who's teaching the material to see how it is that they can teach it by watching it in this way. We're trying to cover all the bases for you to make it as simple as we possibly can. We're excited about what God has the potential to do through you and your church. Wouldn't it be awesome if we really did become passionate about sharing Jesus every day with others again? We want to help you and want to encourage you in this process. On the website, you'll see a link where you can email us, and we'd love to contact you and talk with you about how we can be helpful to you as you go through this process. May God bring many people into the kingdom through the leadership of His Spirit as we learn how to be used by Him. God bless you, and we're praying for you.